Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Captain retired Jahanzeb Hashmi Palestine Wala. After a long time on your screen, today I'm going to discuss the debate between Norman Finkelstein versus Benny Morris. Uh, these both historians discuss Benny Morris being the advocate of Israeli Zionism and Norman Finkelstein being a historian contesting that what Israel is doing is doing wrong. And there are two others also. Bonnell, uh, the others are the uh, the with Benny Morris is Stephen Bonnell, and with Norman, the team member is Moeen Rabbani. So, what they are discussing, Bonnie Morris says that it was not in Zionism that they have any policy to ex- do expulsion or to push away the Arab community living in that part of the Israeli land or the Palestinian land. And they had no policy to push them away. They were comfortable to let the Palestinians live in that part of the land in 1947 and 48 when the Israeli independence were declared. And the first prime minister was Ben Gurion, and the second was, what was his name? Second was Weizmann. Yeah, Weizmann. So he says that in 1937, when it was decided the Jews will be living in this part of the land, the Arabs did not want it, and Arabs assaulted the independent state, and because of that, the Jews and the Zion or the Israeli forces had a fight, and the refugee issue was raised, and this was the reason that the Israel and Jews started. The Jews and the Muslims of the Arabs started to have a conflict. Before that, the Jews never wanted to have the conflict. This is Benny Morris, and he says that it was always that the Palestinians were given, since history, the offers given to them to stay with the Jews peacefully, but they never opted for it. For example, in 2000 also, when the Barack Obama gave them the opportunity to have the West Bank and half of Jerusalem and the Gaza Strip, but still they did not Yasser Arafat did not sign the treaty, and he wanted more, and that was the biggest, offer ever given to the Palestinians, but they did not, and the Yasser Arafat did not accepted the offer. So this is one of the reason why the Palestinians are suffering. And what he says, Benny Morris says that killing children is not, what Israeli forces wants. It is that the children are hiding behind Hamas, or Hamas is hiding behind this. Uh, the children and the ladies and the women of the Palestinians. Therefore, they have to be targeted. And it is that these children are taught from the very, very young ages by the Hamas groups and the Palestinians that they should not let any Jew live on this land. It has been, according to Benny Morris, indoctrinated in their minds that that this you know antagonism against the Jewish nation. And Norman Finkelstein says that Barry Morris arguments are not true, or Stephen Bonnell arguments are not also very legitimate or very logical. And he says that killing children is no it's genocide, and well, Benin Morris and uh, Stephen Bonnell are not accepting that it's a genocide. He says Benin Morris in one of his statements said that they should have killed 500,000 uh, people, Palestinians by now in 4 months. It is Israel who is not being so ferocious or so cruel. It has only killed 30,000. This was Benny Morris' argument, at which Norman said, "This is only 30,000 for him. These children above 15, 20,000 children and ladies and females and women is not a big deal for him." And but in all the discussion, the debate, the Bennis Morris and Stephen Bonnell were on the upper hand. They had all the answers against Norman, what's his name? His name is Norman Finkelstein. He was not able to contest, or uh, he was not able to defend his logics, and neither Rabbani, who was sitting next to him in the team to try to defend the Palestinian cause. They were discussing about the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, ruling against Israel. They said it is that they did not. They only said the International Court of Justice only said it's a plausible uh, a case. That means it's not a genocide. It is something which is wrong. The South Korean plea, the pledge is plausible, reasonable to a limit, but does not mean that it is a genocide, because this is what the International Court of Justice, according to uh, Stephen Bonnell, uh, logic. He says that this is like that, and the Norman Finkelstein uh, contests about this, and he says that plausible means if somebody, a regional player, is able to qualify for Olympics, that means he is a superstar. He is someone who has the ability to, you know, uh, good in sports. That's why he's able to be selected to the level of Olympics. That he has that much of worth to be qualified as a sportsman to be elected in Olympics. So this is so. If the case of Palestinian Israel war is being able to qualify for a debate or for a suit in the International Court of Justice, that means it has the legitimate capability to be called as genocide. This was his verdict, the Norman Finkelstein. Acha. And the other things he discussed were that the 1947-48, the Ben Gurion was a Zionist, and but the ideology, he was ideologically a Zionist, but the Jewish state, according to Benny Morris, was not Zionism, and there was no policy of Zionism for expulsion or of Arabs, and you know forcing them to leave that part of the land. They were all you know the Jews were ready to live with them. It was only when the Arabs attacked in 1948 on the Israel land, independent state, that made the Israeli forces had to expel or push away the Arabs. And this is the reason this conflict came into being. So, other than that, they also discussed a lot. It's a long discussion. It was like over uh, 1.5 hour discussion, and in that they referred to so many points. Like at one, at Bernice Morris said that the Israeli forces are not trying to just find out children and killing them. It is not their motive. It is that they are trying to find the Hamas who brutally killed 1,200 people in on 7th October, and it is in that reaction and retaliation that they are doing so. And the uh, Stephen Bonnell says that the Air Force attacks on the children is not designed to kill the children. It is that the Air Force is a very organized kind of a force everywhere in the world, and Israeli Air Force is super organized, and the bombing instructions are so much layered that it is not that they have to target the children. It is so comes with so many layers of this layers of command that once they reach to the point of throwing the bomb, it accidentally kills the poor civilians. It is not the actually intent is there to kill the citizens. So this is what it is. And again, Benny Morris is very logical in his book, and he says that killing Palestinians is not a justifiable thing, but it is Palestinians who do not accept living peacefully with the Jews. And the Rabbani is also a very logical person. He's a historian himself, and he says that. Um, in Herzl, the founder of Zionist, he was impressed by Cecil Rhodes, and who says that driving out the nation, the people living in that land, Palestinian land, was essential to make an independent Jewish state. But it was not like that. Beresmond says it's only a paragraph in those 5 volumes which state this narrative, but it is not actually the motive of Herzl to have this thing insinuated in the doctrine, Zionist doctrine, to push away the uh, people from that Jewish land. So this is what it is, and this is it has so many other things like the so much. So this is what it is. So thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, you let me know. I close down this uh, video now.